first, what are the main added value that it can bring to business first, and then how can it be used to enhance cybersecurity and cyber resilience. And we're going to come back for another round of questions.
Of course, of course.
Please.
Let me just first check. Do you hear me clearly? Is it good? Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I would like to thank the JCC for the invitation and for the organization of such an excellent event. So your question is timely, is very interesting. I would like just to start by a short introduction. I guess the biggest breakthrough that humanity has ever made in security has been done in this last decade, which is creating a public, accessible solution, which is accessible to everybody because it's accessible over internet, which is open source, which is not backed by any company or by any security team, which has an uptime of 100%. At least for the last 10 years. And this solution is managing hundreds of billions of dollars. I guess you know it now, which is Bitcoin. I'm not here to advocate or to promote the cryptocurrency or the Bitcoin, but to understand that achieving or accomplishing such achievement should at least push us to ask the question how such system in such hostile environment and under such extreme circumstances achieved such high level of resiliency and of security. And this question made all companies all over the world interested in the technology underlying cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is like website versus internet. The solution or the technology is the blockchain, whereas the use case is, for example, Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. Why I started with this example to say the technology can play a major role to achieve security and to help us to fortify our solutions or our systems. Because in this case, we don't have any team behind security now, I guess. There is no, let's say, any entity or company behind that secure this system. It's a collaborative work. So if we understand that, we understand the blockchain technology can help us to play a major role to secure our systems, to secure our companies. So just to jump up to answer your question directly, how blockchain can help companies to secure themselves, we need to understand, His Excellency spoke about zero trust, which is now like a trendy, let's say, strategy among companies which aims to put a strategy that doesn't assume any trust either in devices or in persons. And the blockchain does exactly that. There is no assumed trust in anything. So we start with, or we operate within a trustless environment where blockchain can ensure trust using some set of techniques. So the first benefit of using blockchain is to help implementing this idea of this strategy of zero trust within the companies, which is more powerful than the conventional strategy that we have, where we try to build a fortification, then we start, for example, operate within. This is the first thing. The second thing is that we have technology that doesn't require additional layers or investment to secure it. Because for example, if we use the conventional tools, we always think of adding some additional layers to protect the system. If we have for example, if we are using a database, we need some additional tools, investment to secure the system, which is not always the case in case of blockchain. This is the second thing. The third thing is that blockchain is currently presenting some very interesting breakthrough. I'm talking about technological breakthroughs that are unmatchable in any other technology, even in AI orders. I'm talking about, for example, for instance, zero-knowledge proof protocols. We're talking about an ideology or an idea where companies can, or any institution, can handle data without accessing the real data. It's like the homomorphic encryption, which means that I can process the data without the need to disclose information. So I can, for example, verify or assess or for authorization or authentication, I can authenticate a person without the need to disclose sensitive data, or what we call data minimalization. So I require just a minimalistic volume or amount of data for security. So the third point is that blockchain is not just a simple decentralized system, but it comes with a bundle or a set of additional techniques that we can use to enhance the security of our system. So this is the third point. The fourth point is a very, very, very important aspect. I will close with that because I think I'm taking much time, is collaborative security. You can be a fortification, you can be a well-secured system, but your partner can be like the Achilles wheel, can be the vulnerability that can, for example, compromise your security. So when we use a decentralized system that is shared among different actors and guarantee the same level of security across all the partners, we can at least be sure that that we are collaboratively secure. Not, for example, I'm a bank or a big entity, I have for example, the investments that to secure myself, but my partner, for example, you all heard the issue of solar wind, which is also a big company, but all the partners or the clients of this solution will be compromised by their security issues. So when we use a decentralized system like a blockchain with different actors, we guarantee that we have the same security level across all the actors. And this is very, very important, this collaborative security level across different actors. So I will close with that maybe in the second talk. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for those interesting sharings about blockchain, its importance in enhancing resilience, and also the necessity of taking into account also the environment and our partners. Mr. Belmzoukia, welcome to this panel. And for you, as a representative, the president of the International Federation of Artificial Intelligence, and regarding the point of connected objects and the increasing use of this kind of technology, what about the challenges brought by the expand of the connected objects in terms of data use, big data, and also in terms of cyber security challenges? Thank you.
So that's a lot of question in one question, but I will try to summarize. First of all, I would like to thank the DGC for this invitation. And as you know, AI now is playing on the ground. As my colleague said, cyber security is a collaborative issue. Then we have another player on the ground, which is AI. AI can summarize that there are two major aspects. It is good for the defenders, and also it is good for the attackers. Unfortunately, this is the technology, the new tech. So, and then it is an issue by itself, because we have new algorithms, new applications that use artificial intelligence. So it's also exposed to risks. So I will try to explain for the defenders. For the defenders, it is good on the identification issue. As you know, AI algorithms can analyze a vast amount of data, including network traffic, user behaviors, and then we can detect on a short time or on a real time, let's say, the attacks or the supposed attacks, to identify them, to classify them if they are a real attack or they are safe. So the work of the security analyzer, it will be a short work of verifying a short amount of supposed attacks, not like before that he could, you need a big team that analyze each one, analyze a part of the task. Then we have the second issue, is vulnerability management, which big data can be used on analyzing codes before launching them on the test side. So now the developers, they can analyze, even if they have no knowledge on security, cyber security, they can ask generative AI to tell them, do this code respect some securities aspects? Is there any weaknesses or high risks? So you have the time. And not only for one issue, you can make it on 100 cases, 1,000 cases, or even 100,000 cases. So this is the second issue for the defenders. The third issue is the response capabilities. As we said earlier, when you have the real-time results about the attacks using the machine learning, you have time to cut off or to isolate those affected areas. So the response becomes more easier and more effective, and it gives good results before the spread of the viruses. And they will come to this to do not take too much time. We will come to this with a use case about IoT. And then the second thing is about the offensive or the attackers. Attackers now, they are enhancing their skills, unfortunately. So which means, you know, as a coders, you do not manage, or you cannot be expert on every field of programming. But when it comes that you have a very good assistant, which is the generative AI, for example, it gives you the way and to perform and to enhance your codes, or in talking about creating malwares and all that. Not in a direct way, because if you ask ChatGPT, for example, you tell them how to create malware, he will tell you, sorry, before you test it, I can tell you the answer. He will tell you, sorry, I cannot help on that, because it's coded the direct question to this answer. It's not in the ChatGPT, I can ensure this. But if you ask in an indirect way, I have this code, how to strengthen this code, then from there you can go. And then to identify codes, you can take codes from the ones that you want to target, and then you can also analyze the weaknesses and use it against them. The third aspect is the AI itself. For example, as she said about the IoT, we had an experience on the IoT that, you know, now it's there's an average of 25 billion devices connected, which means the risk is huge. All those devices on the IoT, most of them, they are IoT devices. So that we have to do some effective or fast intervention on terms of analyzing security aspects. So what we did for one use case on this issue is, as a group of researchers, we used some machine learning models and some data pre-processing models also on the big data issue. For the classifications model of AI, we use, for example, the random forest algorithms for those that they know them. And we used also this decision tree algorithms. We used also the SVM, support vector machine algorithms, and we compared them. Which one will give us the more accurate, will be more accurate on the issue of detecting attacks on the IoT. Then we found that first is the decision tree, and then random forest, while support vector machine is far away to give the accurate results. And also there is a big issue on the AI itself, is like when we use it on the multi-agent system. Here we have a big issue, multi-agent system, for those who don't know it. That's, let me give you a clear example. I like to give a clear example to be clear, also for those that they don't know about AI. Multi-agent system is a combination of smart solutions. Like, for example, in airports, we have an agent that control the landing, an agent that control the takeoff. So the combination, they cooperate between each other. They have to cooperate, otherwise we will have the landing and the takeoff on the same time, then we will have accidents. So now, if we take it in a larger scale, if we have a lot of agents in one system, the problem it's if one agent is affected, it will immediately affect the other agents. So here is also the application of the AI. It makes us supposed to a bigger risk. Also, we have other examples. For example, there is a major example that people, they are aware of it all over the world, and I am defending that we have to be aware of it. It is about singularity. I think it's singularity. I will let it for the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Belmzoukia, for those important insights. You highlighted that AI can be used either for cybersecurity, but also by hackers to enhance their capabilities. So we need to enforce the ways that is gonna make it in the side of cybersecurity and cyber resilience. Thank you for those insights. Mr. Stefan Gifo, as the head of business solution at N+1, all those new technologies have requirements in terms of infrastructure and solutions. So how are we ready to take off within those new technologies, and what are the main requirements in terms of infrastructure, data centers, and solutions, please?
Okay, so first of all, I would also thank DGSC for this great event, because I've seen very interesting speakers all through these 2 days. And to answer your question, really, I think first I would like to stress out what is the business value of all of these new technologies. We are speaking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, etc. So a lot of speakers have focused on the risks. So, but I would like also to stress that there are some good things that are coming with these technologies. And the first one maybe is the time to market, because you know, in the past, when you had to create a new algorithm, you wouldn't start a project. Maybe it would take months or even years to deploy a new solution. With artificial intelligence and Gen AI and that kind of new technology, we can do this in months or even weeks if we use pre-trained algorithms and we just feed them with data that we need for the specific projects. We can go very fast. So this is a very interesting aspect. And also, I'd like to say that if we go to standard solutions, like cloud providers can provide us with a pre-configured solutions, we benefit from security by design. This means that when you are asking, I don't know, maybe Google or AWS or Oracle or any of that kind of hyperscalers to provide with AI infrastructure, you can be assured that it's by itself secured. What is the main risk, and it has been said already in another keynote, is how we will configure it and how we will use it. So there's a big focus to be done on these misconfigurations. And speaking of cloud readiness, I think the approach is something that we will discuss in a keynote this afternoon also. The approach is maybe cloud first. You will not have to rebuild everything. You should go and see on the market what is available in the cloud. If it's not available in public cloud, what can be done locally in Morocco. So we have several solutions that we can offer on our data centers. We can implement cloud edges, or if you really have something that is specific, then you will go to a specific implementation with a specific design. So I think, to summarize, we have a full panel of solutions going from public cloud to dedicated solutions, and data centers in Morocco, and specifically N+1 data center, is ready to host all of these solutions.
Okay, thank you for highlighting the business value of that can be added with those new technologies, and also for sharing the requirements in terms of infrastructure and cloud readiness. Now, Mr. Adnan Ben Halima, You are a research and development expert engineer. I would like to I would like you to share with us the importance of standardization and capability building, and also the development of good governance to reinforce the good use of those new technologies, and by the way, to develop digital sovereignty.
Thank you very much for the question. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer for the invitation. It's really an honor to be here, and I thank all the panelists here. Just a small confusion about the title, but it's nothing serious. I will correct it later. Actually, we are raising here a very important question. If we talk about our activity, because I represent Huawei here, we are a network provider, and I can give you some figures. There are more than 3 billion people using our networks on the globe, which is giving a lot of responsibility to us to secure our networks and our systems. We need to understand that these networks, they are not provided by one provider from end to end, so it's like several stones together. So that's why there are a lot of frontiers between systems and between products. So that's why standardization is a very important topic in order to be able to talk by the same language between all these providers and all these protagonists. Standardization is the only way to guarantee the smooth development and the transparency of systems. And at this point, we focus a lot in Huawei. We established more than 8 transparency centers all around the world to let all the partners and other ecosystem actors come and test, and we are also the main contributor to the certification part. So standardization is, again, is very important to be able to understand in our system what is trust, what we can trust, what we cannot trust, etc. So second part of your question is capability building, which is the cornerstone of this domain for the cybersecurity and also for this perspective. We are doing a lot of efforts for that. We believe that digital sovereignty is also going through this topic because we need qualified people on the country to handle this kind of topic correctly. And just to give you some figures, there is a big lack of and request for this kind of expertise. Now there is some figures like there is a need of 3.4 million experts in cybersecurity needed all over the world to be able to face the challenges currently. And I think this figure will be increasing dramatically because of the evolution of the usage of data and digital transformation in all sectors. As we saw yesterday also, the figures related to the damage caused by cyber threats. So we saw a huge evolution. Now it's around, around $11 billion. It will be evolved to more than $23 billion in a few years. So we need more people to be able to handle this. So capability building and is a very important topic in order to form and train the people to handle this topic, not only from cybersecurity, but all the other domains like AI. Today we are discussing a lot about AI. AI, as mentioned by my colleague here, is good for the people who can use it to defend, but you don't need to forget that AI also is from the other side. Now we are facing robot attacks. We are facing hackers using AI to generate fake content, generate fake outputs, and even making use of fake data in order to make some troubles. So again, capability building is really very important, not only to face the challenges, but especially to guarantee the sovereignty of the treatment of this topic at the national level. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Adnan Ben Halima, Vice President for Public Relations for North, West, and Central Africa at Huawei. and I take from your thoughts the importance of standardization in setting up trust, and the high needs and the importance also of capability building, especially regarding the high needs of specialists in the field of cybersecurity and digital transformation, and also regarding the high and the sophisticated ways of digital threats and cybersecurity threats. Thank you for those valuable insights. Mr. Jose Fernandez, as a cybersecurity expert, can you share with us your experience and your recommendations for taking good advantage of those high new technologies, technology tools, and how can build an augmented, a reinforced cyber resilience in regarding all those themes? Thank you. To summarize and to give a holistic vision about the topic.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that you mentioned the term cyber resilience, because cybersecurity is about securing the systems and making sure that they are performing as they should. But cyber resilience is making sure that society and the humans that use this system perform as they should, even if these systems are degraded or the data is not available or so forth. And I think when we're talking about these technologies and the importance of using them in the context of emerging countries, but in any country, I'll jump ahead, and when we link it with the notion of digital sovereignty, it is very important to understand that in the current multi-polar world that we live, one of the richness of the humanity is the fact that each sovereign country has a different approach to life, different values, different ways to approach its economy, the education of children, etc., etc. And I think what is happening today with the multinationalization through certain monopolies of data and service provision is that we have lost as sovereign countries the ability to control, not to control, but to provide data and provide services in a way that is aligned with values that are dear to each country. So how can AI, how can big data, and how can blockchain help in these? I would say that one of the best ways to fight fake data is with real data, with national data collections that are stored in digital cloud infrastructures, while that data is curated with national employees or civil servants or academics. How do we ensure then the next step is how do we ensure the integrity of that data? There are techniques, cryptographic techniques for ensuring integrity. Where there are centralized infrastructures, like public key infrastructures, digital, Direction Générale de la Sécurité des Systèmes d'Information, we can use centralized systems to ensure the integrity. But where we want that integrity to be checked across national borders, then is when blockchain becomes useful, because then it becomes decentralized, and in the absence of maybe multinational organizations. And then, so that links blockchain and data, big data, and also curation of data, what we call semantic security. Beyond that, AI. Today, the quantum leap we've made in AI is due to large language models, ChatGPT, and so forth. Those large language models work well, but not so well. They are very vulnerable to manipulation, the examples that were given. And the reason why is because they've been trained on everything, on the whole internet. What we're discovering, what the practitioners and the scientists of AI are discovering is that it is much more practical and much more accurate to train large language models on curated small amount of data. To create a ChatGPT that is good on chemistry, you train it on Wikipedia with chemistry articles, and it becomes very accurate, very resilient, very hard to manipulate. And I think that goes back to digital sovereignty. If a certain country wants to develop, and I will link it to education as well, we want our children to eat good food. We want them to be healthy. We want them to consume good information. We want them to be able to use a conversational GPT-like model for learning that is trained correctly with curated data on limited amounts of data. And that links back to having the means to implement this in a sovereign fashion, according to our values or the values of each country. I will stop there.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Fernandez, for those interesting insights. You have highlighted the importance of cyber resilience added to cyber security, and also you highlighted the importance of public infrastructures in developing, in making good data, especially at an enterprise or country or level, and the importance of the use of blockchain when we go, when we enlarge our borders, and all that it can bring to ensure this quality of data. You insisted on the fact that artificial intelligence has to consume healthy data, so data of quality. So all these insights are important, actually, to ensure digital sovereignty regarding the side of data. Thank you so much. We're gonna go for a second round, and I think that we're gonna take 1 minute for each one to highlight the most important message to keep for all of us, and especially a word for digital sovereignty in one of the fields that we have addressed today. Sir, please.
Thank you, Ms. Nadia. I think one of the important messages that we would like to get it as a conclusion from the panel is we need to work with other firms to overcome the challenges that we are facing from using the AI and the big data, and we need to be ahead of that. And this is something we cannot do it as a standalone firms. We need to involve government. We need to involve, as I mentioned before, the privacy makers. We need to involve the data scientists. We need to involve the domain experts as well. So it should be like a common effort to overcome the risks that may come from the AI. So AI can be used, as mentioned by my colleague Amin, from both sides, the positive side and negative side. So since we are all in the positive side, we need to work together to make a lot of efforts and make something integrated to prevent from the negative sides that can be done. And we need to think as the other side as well. So to be like taking preventive actions, again, is what they can do. And I will leave, of course, for my colleagues to add to the conclusion of this.
Thank you, Mr. Ihab. Mr. Balash.
I will go short. So I think I will talk just only about blockchain. So I want just to end up with few points. The first is blockchain is an accessible technology. There is no magic in there. So everybody can use blockchain. It's an accessible technology. Yes, there are some requirements, but it's inaccessible. I would dare to even claim that it's more accessible than AI or other technologies, because I'm in there for more than a decade. So it's an easy to access technology. It provides higher security, of course, it depends on the context. But I wanted just to, let's say, to dissipate this fear from the technology. And I want just also to stress another point is that blockchain doesn't equal cryptocurrency. You can use a blockchain without any currency in there, without any financial, let's say, workflow in your business. So the idea is the blockchain is like I've said, it's like the internet. It's just a network. It's just a bundle of software. So don't always be afraid of blockchain or to, let's say, think of this dilemma of how can I use blockchain without cryptocurrency. It's easy and it's possible. So the first thing is it's an accessible technology. The second thing, don't be. Why I'm stressing the second point? Because in a recent survey, more than 50% of IT leaders still think that blockchain equals cryptocurrency. That's why I'm trying to underline this very important nuance and try to of course, express it. The second part of my intervention in the sovereignty. Sovereignty is very important, but it starts by or from acquiring the knowledge. You should have this knowledge. As a country, we should be, at least we should have this access to knowledge in different technologies. And I can assure you that in terms of, or when it comes to blockchain, we have this self-sufficient. We are self-sufficient and we have this sovereignty. And we are working on why not tomorrow we will have a sovereign blockchain network for Morocco, like in Europe, like in China, like in other places where they have put in place blockchain or nationwide blockchain network. So I will close with that.
See, Mr. Bellage, Sibel Mzoukia.
Okay, so I will go back quickly to some issues. First of all, the bad news is that attackers are taking advantage of AI, unfortunately. I tell you why. For example,